Hello and welcome to Musical Musings. I'm your host for this episode, Jamie Byers.
And I'm Jack Brittle.
I'm Callum O'Malley.
Basically, each week one of us will pick a song to share with each other and with you at home. We'll direct you to the song we choose in the description of the episode so you can check it out for yourself. Afterwards, we'll analyze the song and talk about what we liked, didn't like, and our general thoughts on it. Today's song is Myth by Beach House. Check it out now and we'll be right back. Alright, so first thoughts.
I really liked it. It grew on me. I actually liked it quite a bit more the second time when I listened with lyrics. The first thing that struck me on the first listen was I liked the simplicity of it. Like I liked how it was just oscillating between two, chords.
It's almost like clockwork to a degree too, right? Like that background, I guess it is the drum, but it's like
there's some other instrument there too. There's like a I don't know, like a wind chime, or not a wind
It's
chime.
like a triangle or something.
Yeah, like a tubular, not a tubular bell, but like something like that, like some kind of tuned percussion almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, you were gonna say something.
I was just gonna say, like it very much, especially at the beginning and the beginning and the end, and there's a point 2/3 of the way through the song probably that most of the instruments calm down. It just becomes this kind of like consistent clockwork feeling of
Almost like a meditation.
Yeah, but then once, like, listening to the first time, I wrote down, even in my notes, I wrote down, like, oh, it feels like clockwork. And then listening to the song the second time with lyrics, like, there's probably a very good reason why this sounds like clockwork.
Yeah, the lyrics were interesting. I couldn't get a read on totally what the song was about. Yeah, I liked it. It almost the guitar work reminded me of, like, Mac DeMarco almost. It had that similar kind of tone and, like, vibe to it.
It was very like ethereal. It reminded me of David Bowie for some reason, of like space music.
Yeah, maybe the vocals a little bit.
Yeah,
were kind of a little bit Bowie-ish. If that's a word.
Bowie-esque.
Bowie-esque. That's probably more reasonable. But yeah,
it was the first listen to. I was like, oh, this song is like relaxing and happy, and I can imagine kind of like lying back and putting this on headphones, just kind of vibing out to it for a bit. And then on the second listen through that we did, when we had the lyrics in front of us, I was like, oh, this is a breakup song. This is like,
yeah.
Oh, is that?
It feels like the end of a slowly dying relationship. Like two people who have realized. Maybe. Sorry, Jack. What a way to out yourself on the podcast. This one's going to Dave.
This is how you build a parasocial relationship with people.
But it felt like two people who were in love at one point who then have both realized that they don't feel that way anymore. And that kind of slow dying of it. And listening to it again and hearing it that way, it's a lot more like kind of like heart-wrenching.
So that's the myth, I guess.
The myth that
like
this is going to work. Yeah, I think the idea of the myth to me was this can keep going. Mm-hmm. I could be completely wrong on that.
There was a line that I liked right before it was the last line of the third verse. It was materialize or let the ashes fly, which I kind of liked because it's like I like the kind of like. It sounds good, like it rhymes well, but it's like a nice yin and yang kind of thing, where it's like you either,
you create, like it's either going to be created or it's going to be destroyed.
Yeah, you conceptualize this thing and let it come to fruition, or just let it kind of die. And the ashes is a nice way of like extending that metaphor. But yeah, it was good. It's I would describe it as I don't know if you use the word ethereal, but that's definitely a good descriptor. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I would listen to it again.
Yeah, a lot of their stuff's like, they're basically the same genre than most of their music. And the cool thing about Beach House too is they're one of those bands that they don't really put out any kind of explanation for their music. They really leave it up to the listener to interpret it, which I can appreciate because I feel like it's not too literal in a sense that depending on your experience, you might have a different interpretation. But yeah, I love that song. I think it's very like dreamy sounding almost.
It does feel like the song you would hear as you were like half asleep.
Yeah.
Like you don't feel fully awake listening to it.
And the lyrics I feel like aren't super confronting. Like the music kind of takes over in a sense that like unless you have the lyrics in front of you, you're not so much paying attention to it. So it's good like passive music if you're not trying to listen to the lyrics. But then again, when you listen to the lyrics, it's like it offers so much more.
It's interesting you use the word dreaming because we looked up the genre before and it was dream pop, right? So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I was trying to describe like the vibe of the music, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, it's a dreamy song. Like that's how I would describe it. And then he asked about the genre, and I was like, I don't even know. It's dream pop. So
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I noticed it's the first song on the record, which I thought it's an interesting, like, I think it's a great opener, right? I mean, I haven't heard the rest of the album, but, like, if that's what the rest of the music is, if that's what it's indicative of, then I think that's a good way to, like, ease into it.
It does feel a little bit almost like I also haven't listened to the whole album, but that feels like it should be the swan song of the album. Like that would almost be at the very end to like that song drifting out and fading out will be the end of the album, and then like
True, yeah. That's why it is kind of an interesting choice as an opener,
yeah,
because it could easily be, like, a closing.
that's listen to the rest of the album.
Oh. What's it called again?
the album,
Yeah.
Bloom.
Bloom, okay.
Yeah,
Bloom by Beach House.
yeah.
And what,
Depression Cherry is also a very good album by them.
what year did this come out? I think it's in 2017.
2012 is Bloom.
Yeah, I was-
2012.
They
I'm
do have
dyslexic
more
now.
recent music too, though. Yeah, they actually had an album come out in 2022.
And is it just the one, like, vocalist?
Are the two of them? I almost felt like I heard
think there's a
third
bit of a
voice.
harmony in
Well,
it.
there's like background vocalists, but
Yeah,
it's a female vocalist, right?
I think it's a male, and there might be a female behind it, but it is a little like if it's male, it's higher pitch.
Yeah. But whoever it is, they have a kind of a distinct. It almost sounds like they have an accent.
I at the very first line, I thought they were British.
Yeah.
like there's a way that they said. I think one of the first lines they say like out, like in and out, and that for some reason.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd like intonation of their voice.
Yeah,
but,
which makes
but
it unique, which is nice.
Yeah, which almost adds to like the dreamlike quality, because it's like
I get that.
I couldn't even discern whether it was a man or woman singing.
Yeah, which like in a dream, it's like you don't. It's also hard to put a face to the voice, which might work with that as well. Like in a dream, I don't know if everybody else has this, but in a dream, I don't really see faces.
No, I see faces.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I see weird
Don't know what
faces.
what that means for my psyche.
I see faces of people where I'm like,
Get into that in the post podcast.
I'm like,
I just looked it up. Lead vocalist is a woman, and then there's backing vocals.
sounds right.
That's a man. So, and he does
Oh,
guitar.
yeah.
She does
said there was a
vocals and
man.
keyboard. He does guitar, keyboard, and backing vocals.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, Baltimore, Maryland is where they're originated.
Yeah, that's not the accent you would expect from there. Which I mean, obviously, like accents are different in music. Like when you're singing, you're not singing with the same voice you talk with.
Yeah.
Hypothetically. So like, yeah, that is a really interesting. Like the harmony is so good that it's hard to tell it's two people.
Yeah.
Which almost again adds to like it almost feels like a choir.
Any other thoughts before we wrap it up?
I halfway through the first listen, I put it on one of my playlists, so I quite actually enjoyed that song. I will probably go home and listen to the rest of the album.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. It's a high bar for me to add something to my music library, but I think I might have to listen to the rest of the album. But I like what I've heard. I definitely, it's not something that I don't usually listen to that kind of music. I'm not like a completely new to it, but it's not something that I listen to on a regular basis. But yeah, if that's indicative of what the rest of their discography is like, then yeah, I would definitely check out more.
It is a really good introduction to the band.
I think so.
But thank you for joining us this week. We'll be back next week with another song. I think next week is my choice, so be prepared for something a little different than
Angry?
that. Maybe we'll see.
You're gonna try up me.
It's either gonna be anger or it's gonna be weird. I have two songs in mind, so
I'm
we'll
glad
see.
I could bring
I
a
can go weird,
mellow
too.
vibe.
Yeah, and I think that was a good choice.
I can go weird
Thank
too
you.
now. So
It's not a competition, Jack, but we'll get there.
It is.
It will be eventually.
Better person.
Thank you, guys.